so did this room.
Come on, boy. Peggy! Come on, boy. Nobody's gonna hurt you. Come on, come on. Peggy, what does he remind you of?
Nicodemus!
What in...
Oh, I had a dog exactly like this one. He came to our door one night, so Pop called him Nicodemus, because, like in the Bible, Nicodemus came to Jesus at night. Who does he belong to?
Nobody. That's a good part of it. Druggist says he just hangs around the store and sleeps in the alley.
You mean we can have him?
You may not have him, at least not while you're in my house.
But, Pop, if he just runs around the streets at night, he might get run over.
His habits in traffic are of no concern to me. I do not want a dog. There are too many distractions in this house already.
I'll teach him not to bark, I promise.
Yeah, don't worry, Professor. She has a way with dogs.
Good. Then let her show him the way out of here.
Please, Pop, he'd be such fun. And besides, do you know that 84% of all dogs that bite people are homeless dogs? Unless you want to make it easier for some person to get chewed up, I think we better take him in. At least just for a couple of days, until I can find a place for him.
Well, fix the lights then, so that I can at least see what the beast looks like.
Oh, sorry.
Nick! Nick! There.
I said you could tell him not to bark. You must stop right now.
Quiet, Nicodemus. Nicky, come back here. Now you stop that.
Does he have to make all that racket? What's the matter with him?
Oh, it's nothing. He probably smells a cat.
Cat? Do you mean to tell me you got a cat up there?
Oh, sure. We had to have one in the trailer. We had mice.
There are no mice in this
I
house.
wouldn't be too sure about that, Pop. I think I saw one before.
Young lady, if you saw a mouse, you brought him along, too.
Nick! Nicky, take her. Oh, Nicky. Now stop. Be a good boy.
Oh!
Hello. Oh, hello, Henry. Edward tells me you've taken in a GI couple.
I have not only taken in a GI couple, I have taken in a GI dog, a GI cat, and very probably a GI mouse. With this collection, you can see that the possibility of any sleep is a remote one. I was wondering, Philip, if you could send me over a few more sleeping capsules.
Well, what about those I gave you in the office the other day? Did they help? Oh, they did. Good. All right, Henry, I'll call the drugstore and have them send you over 2 more.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you very much. Good night.
Okay, Pop. You can come out now.
About time.
Like it?
Charming. And amazing.
You two can have a castle for $12.49.
Really? I can't believe it.
Of course, we had some of the things. Others we borrowed, and the rest we stole from your basement. Mrs. Landon said it was okay.
Yeah, and we stole some bricks from the backyard, too.
You see, I told you they'd get along.
I could see your ability as an animal trainer, as well as a magician.
Now, don't give her all the credit. It was too easy. Besides, Nicky's probably lived with a cat before anyway. Oh, would you like some tea, Professor?
Tea? But how can you possibly? It'd be too much trouble.
No trouble. Table's all set, and the water's boiling in the kitchen.
Kitchen?
Everything but the kitchen sink. Gotta go downstairs and do the dishes. Hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
Oh, show the gentleman the rest of the apartment while I prepare the tea.
Oh, delighted. Now, I think the best results can be obtained by you standing right there and pivoting.
The den. And now we take a short stroll down the corridor and arrive at the study. Next, we pass through the cloakroom and find ourselves in the library.
Those drapes over the desk are paper from the dime store. Aren't they beautiful?
Everything's beautiful, but where do you sleep?
Aha. In the daytime, part of the living room. At night, the bedroom. Now, if you're worried about what we've done with all that old furniture, shirts, socks, ties, underwear, and pajamas.
But how could you do it all in such a short time?
You're looking at Mrs. Tom Sawyer. Had half the campus helping her.
Oh, but I've got a lot to do yet. Slip covers are only pinned on plants and pictures and... Forgive me, Pop. Please sit down. How do you take your tea?
Oh, just tea, thanks. Nothing in it. All of you young people are a paradox. An enigma which I can't begin to fathom. You're ingenious, resourceful, yet you have no discipline, no dignity, no respect for tradition, nor people.
Such as the older generation.
Yes.
Well, maybe they haven't given us much reason to respect them.
Well, possibly. But none of you seems to have any purpose. Where are you all going? What's your goal? Why have you come to the university?
Well, I came because, I want to be a teacher.
Well, you don't have to say it as if you were learning to be a pickpocket.
Well, after a while, you get a little self-conscious about it. You know, most of people think that you become a teacher because you're not smart enough to become anything else.
Only the people that aren't smart enough to become teachers.
Sit down, I'll get it.
Sure, it's boiling.
I'm curious. When did you first decide to teach?
Well, I was floating around the Pacific one day, and I kept asking myself how I could wind up 6,000 miles away from home hanging onto a hunk of life raft. And I sort of figured it was like Tinkers to Evers to Chance. From ignorance to suspicion, from suspicion to fear, and from fear to hate, and from hate to destruction. And it all starts with ignorance. So, right there, I promised a flock of seagulls that if I ever got out of that spot, I was gonna do what I could.
Personally, I think that's a rather lofty ambition.
Yeah. But the other day I was reading something in Time or Life, one of those magazines, that sort of stuck with me. Here we are, a great nation, and yet we spend over twice as much on liquor as we do education.
Oh, statistics, huh?
Yeah, but these are on the level. You know, when we don't consider our kids as important as... well, I begin to wonder.
Well, wondering is very important. I've always felt that if college did nothing more than teach a person to ask why, it served its purpose. It helps to develop an inquiring mind, and that in turn sometimes leads to a few answers.
And the only answer is to do what you think is best the best you can. When I shuffle off to Buffalo, if I can honestly say I did the best I could, I'll be satisfied.
But that leads up to the philosophical question, what is best?
Well, everybody's busy trying to figure out what they can do to fix things. What can I do? Here I am, 19 years old, not too bright, and 4.5 months pregnant. Now, I can't hope to fix everything by myself. Why, the politicians say, give us 4 years and everything will be wonderful. Well, I don't believe it. I don't believe in 4-year plans or 5-year plans. That's why I want 9 kids.
Now, wait a minute.
They're still in 3-cornered pants. I want to teach them to be fair and good and decent and honest and to understand that the other fellow... Jason, I think he...
Peggy, what's the matter?
You better sit down.
No, it's all over now, but it was the weirdest feeling. Like I swallowed a little earthquake. Where was I? Oh, yes, I think too many of us just sit back and expect the kids to learn everything in school. But most of the time, that's too late. They're little heels already. It's got to start right at... You know, it was strange, your son moving around like that just when I was talking about him. Significant, I think. Very significant. It's got to start right at the beginning. Like Pop used to say, the kids have got to learn that besides the ABCs, there are a lot of other alphabets, and they're all pretty good. Instead of teaching us that some people have eyes that slant like this or noses like this, why don't they forget the things that make us different? Teach the kids the things that make us alike and will bring us closer together. That's why I want 9 kids. Maybe 7 of them will turn out to be horrible little beasts, but maybe 2 of them will be good. And like Pop used to say, maybe their kids and their kids' will be even better. And my gosh, if it keeps snowballing like that, maybe someday it'll be just natural to be tolerant and kind and good.
And how long do you think that'll take?
How long does it take a big tree to grow? But when it's finished, it's mighty beautiful and mighty strong.
And what about in the meantime?
Look, I'm just the big 2, not the big 4. And I know one thing. Unless the individual starts changing, we're just going to keep going from one mess to another. The long haul's got to start sometime, someplace, and it might as well start with your son. Gee, Pop, now that I've finished solving the problems of the universe for the next 50,000 years, we just have to say goodnight. Jason's got an exam tomorrow.
But I want to discuss your theory with you. I haven't had a chance to say one word.
Some other time, please. Honest, he's got to study.
As the good professor has just taught me to ask, why?
You mean I've been talking all this time?